The unboxing of the F14 Tomcat. Just took everything out of the box, checked everything. It all looks very, very good. Very nice. That's the main fuselage. These are all the components. The cockpit. The wings. The vertical stabilizers look great. Front end of the fuselage. And the flaperons. All looks good out of the box. Arrived 3 months after ordering, so it took much longer than I expected, but all good. Have now fitted the vertical stabilizers. As you can see, the servos have been centered. That went together pretty well. The front fuselage hasn't been glued in as yet, but I've just attached it to make sure that everything fits okay. Now about to install the horizontal stabilizers, or the flaperons. Assembled all the components for the flaperons. As you can see, that screw has to be in the center, and it is. That's all now being assembled, ready to fit. Now I'm just about to put the push rods in. Sort that out. I've taken the cover off, ready to fit the wings. So that's where I'm at the moment. As you can see, now the wings have been attached. The wings were attached by removing this plate and then attaching the wing at this point here, at this pivot, removing the bolt, of course. All this is removed before fitting of the wing. Then you slot the wing in over the bolt, making sure that you put a C1 and a C washers in the right positions as per the manual. Then attaching the push rod with a bolt just there, as you can see. As you can see there's a bolt, and then attaching the arm in that location as well. So it's a different screw to that one. So I did both sides, made sure that the wings were sweeping back without any obstruction. So it's pretty straightforward. I'm now waiting for the receiver. Once I receive that, I'll bind the plane. And I made sure all the servos were centered before attaching the wings. that front fuselage hasn't been properly attached at this stage, so I'm waiting on some modifications to come through. That's it at this stage. Installed a 10-channel Spectrum receiver on the plane, and basically everything's working as it should. So worked out the flaperons, but now I've got to do the forward programming on it. But as you can see, left, right, left, elevator, up, down. The wheels are down, they're operating okay. And now sweeping the wings. Yeah, it works perfectly. Everything absolutely spot on. I've got to do the forward programming now and then make sure before I do that, I do all the adjustments on the throws and make sure they're all okay, check them off against the manual. Well, updating the F14, it's now fully complete. As you can see, the reinforcement plate for the front wheel landing gear has now been assembled. All the 5,200 milliamp batteries now can fit into the cockpit, giving us a little bit more flight time rather than the 4,000s. As you can see now, the reinforcement plates for the landing gear through RC Enforcer have now been installed on both sides. Quite a big job because all this had to be disassembled. All these screws had to be taken out. All the center screws had to be taken out. This whole assembly here had to be disconnected. The wings had to be removed. This reinforcement arm had to go out. The plate, the original plate that sat in here, that's that plate through there, had to be lowered. Reinforcements had to be put in, as you can see. Hard to see there, but there's reinforcement dowels going right through the sides of the fuselage at this point here. Which is where the front fuselage marries up to the main fuselage. That is normally a weak spot right through there. That's all being reinforced with that dowels. The original plate has been lowered and glued to those to the top of those dowels to get the correct height from what was etched out at the bottom of this section here and the sides. The receiver moved back to here, as you can see, rather than underneath this plate. So all the wiring had to be redirected through here. The reinforcement main gear plates, that screw there had to marry up with the block, and where you see that red block there, that block had to be cut out. That's now been filled and painted, so I know where it is, and there's a block in there that holds that screw there. So basically the spar had to be put in right from back here right through here to about here. So a 25mm spar had to be etched down 25mm, and that block, this is the block that's been cut out to go into that opening. As you can see, all the markings to try and work out the position of the hole. And then that little groove in there which sits over the beam. That beam in there is where this groove sits on top. So that'll go in basically over the top like that. And the hole has got to be actually put in there at the moment, right where the cross is. And it's got to align with that groove. Once that's all glued in, that will be secured. Oh, I've dropped it. That had to be cut out and put in, had to be glued to that reinforcement ply that was put in there. So that was pretty tricky, but we achieved it. So that's basically the whole of the setup completed, all done, basically now ready to fly. Again, the reinforcement plate put in there. So yes, everything is now complete, all's working, everything is good. Glad to have this job finished and done with. It's been a pretty hard task. There's the bottom. Right, happy flying now, hopefully. Right, here's the plane fully assembled. Right aileron, flapper on, right, left, rudder, left, right, elevator, up, down, flaps, take off flaps, landing flaps,
take off flaps.
Now these flaps should go up automatically as soon as I sweep the wings back.
Flap position. Rotate down.
And they did. The ailerons, but the wings swept back, don't function. As you can see, the flaperons are working, but the ailerons are not. All done. So it's all working. I can't show you the gear, obviously. Some of my other models.
Para boom, para bang. Alright, and then lift it up way up.
Yeah.
Here we go. ready for takeoff.
Okay, ready.
I'm ready.
Takeoff was quite smooth. Would have liked a little bit more elevation because the plane is flying quite stable. The gains are set on adjustable, and it doesn't appear that I need any adjustment. There's no oscillation, so no adjustment in the gains. No trimming required. Seems to be flying quite stable, quite level. No adjustment in the trims whatsoever on any of the surfaces. So quite happy the way it's flying at the moment. Yeah, seems to be good. Quite happy with the setup, quite happy with the CG. It all appears to be okay. I'm not going to use flaps on the landing. I'm not going to sweep the wings on this Maiden. I've just got to get used to flying the plane.
For a second, I was like, where is she?
Elevation was a bit high for the landing. I think it picked up far too much speed. Thankfully, a good landing.
Yeah.